Hello, everyone. I'm so delighted to take a few moments of your time via video. And again, just thank you for the time that we've had together and for the trust of coming to this workshop and allowing yourself to do self-exploration and also sharing with each other. I think it's very interesting between the Johari window and the CARP model of how we manage our resistance in service of getting what we want and don't want. I think we had a major exploration of things that are important to us that perhaps we've hidden or not used enough of, which is the land of opportunity to develop. Because the idea of hiding, everybody does it. Me, you, everyone. And the question is, sometimes we hide parts of ourselves because we're not ready to use those parts, or uncomfortable because of old shoulds, or not quite feeling skilled enough about how to use those parts of ourselves. And then something happens that someone needs more emotional understanding, or they may need a kind word, or they may need, the moment may need some kind of spontaneous, playful creativity that feels a little bit wild because it's completely unfettered by shoulds or structure. And then the question is, can we access those parts to respond to others or the moment, to serve what is needed, wanted, or missing? And if we haven't used those parts of ourselves, then often we feel unable to respond in the moment, and then we feel regret. Which is why we need a safe place to begin to really explore what are those parts of ourselves that we would like to review and renew commitment to use. So that's thing one. The second part is all of us have a blind side. And this is where relationships, mentors, friends, loved ones, and even a trustworthy person that is willing to share what they feel or think that you might not be aware of really matters. So often, I could make jokes of it, but the opportunity of really hearing from someone, something that you're blind to or are not aware of, can make a difference to outcomes that you can't even imagine. Because if you can't see, you can't choose. You know, I think of that moment where I made a mistake in the listing of the names and Jada corrected me. And I was so grateful, because the last thing I want to do is a mistake. Especially somebody's name, so important. I ask you, what are the things that you wish others had told you? And how could you invite yourself to get more support? That's actually what we find so important in terms of use of self, is who's covering your back? Who's giving you a different perspective? In our complicated world, we need so many perspectives. And do you have access to enough diversity? Especially within groups. I think that power has to go with groups, because power is necessary to drive change. How do we have enough fairness so that we can make better choices? And sometimes it's about having information, and sometimes it's about having another perspective so that we are informed and not blind. So I want to invite you to consider, what are the support persons that you may be needing in your life, and even for now, even hearing from each other's perspective, things that you may not have been aware of. How do you feel expanded? I know for myself, I'm really looking at the idea of, from a male perspective, things that I've learned. Male, white, male, black, black, male. And I invite you to consider what you've learned from female perspectives that have added or expanded your thinking, including appreciation, including recognition of some ways that you think that we could also borrow. I know that as I really think of the things that have helped me the most, it's been a different perception that has expanded my thinking. And I love that we talked about power, because power, it's the misuse of power that injustice lives. And we who are change agents or coaches or leaders, especially a leader, your people want to know that you use power well. You don't have to use it perfectly, but you have to use it with integrity. And the transparency of how you use power, it sends a message. so much to say. You're going to be getting your Menti graph next week, but this is the week that somehow all the holidays are in this week. If you're Jewish, it's Passover, and I celebrate that. That's the time of coming out of narrow places. So I invite everyone to just know all of us need to come out of narrow places and hope that bad things pass over us. The second thing is that if you're Christian, is Easter, the time of renewal and inspiration. And if you're celebrating that, may you feel renewed and that a sense of resurrection comes to you or your world. And if you're Muslim, then you're in Ramadan, where every day is a day for, even if you don't fast, for reflection, but every evening is a time to share iftar with loved ones. And I think maybe we can all borrow from that. May we have the sharing of food